true Dave, mad dog. Say style, but I don't think style's got anything to do. Now, what we do is the bridge, I think, has got too busy now. So what I'm going to do, soak my sponge in the water and get scrubbing with a load of tissues, of course. Damp it off. You don't need to rub too hard, actually. It's surprising how. You've got to watch it though, because the paper soon, this paper anyway, will soon start to lift as it is at the moment. I'm not worried about the bit down there. I just want the overall. The overall, knock it right down. There's no problem. We can start again. Awesome. I'm going to pause the video here and let that really dry back nice. Beauty of watercolours. Won't be doing that, Chrissy, in acrylics. Just let that dry and come back. Oops, that's a bit damp there. It needs to dry really well, and then I can bring it back. I've got a plan. Well, I keep saying I've got a plan, but sometimes wonder. Different.
Yeah, Anne was admiring your picture that you rubbed out completely and started again nearly.
I've done, yeah, I did it there. I did that one
yesterday.
I've made you the host in case anyone comes in. You can admit them then.
I'm Band-Aid now.
Yeah. I've done it again. I wasn't happy with the bridge either. So just now, or early on this morning, I rubbed that out.
Oh, the bridge is gone.
I did a video of that.
How do you get it out so clear?
Yeah. How do you get it to come out?
Yeah, just an ordinary sponge.
Bath sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's a car sponge.
Yeah, it looks like a car.
It's quite dense. I've cut it off, and yeah, just clean water. Squish, squish, squish. Comes off like.
Very good paper, that Stonehenge paper.
Well, you say that. It does lift a bit. There was a few little bits, but I just, when it dries, just use a nice rubber and gently rub it off.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I
so you've removed the dressing from the paper completely now, effectively.
Well, I don't know. It seems okay. So I had a plan B. I just wanted to have some fun, really.
Yeah.
So I've got some. I decided I was going to put. I'm doing it now. Put some beige flesh on, and while it's damp, I mixed up some. What colours? Blue. That's ultra blue, ultra marine, and some brown, burnt umber or whatever brown I've got there now. I can't never remember. I've got a few, but raw umber works as well. But as long as it's brown and blue make a nice grey colour, and raw sienna. I'm going to have a pool of raw sienna. My plan is, now I've got a beige, a nice background tone of flesh. It does work. Flesh is a nice colour actually, but the blue and the brown together will make a nice grey. So I just thought I'd introduce some of that. I'm not looking at the picture of the reference picture at all now. And
so that's pretty wet now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's soaking wet.
Yeah.
And I'm just dropping it in. I could do with a round brush actually, if I could find. Oh, there it is. I don't know, a round brush. You can drop it in, and then I was just going to drop in some brown and blue because I know instinct it doesn't matter because I know that if I've got the bridge, if I'm dropping in the brown, if I add blue on top of it, it's going to go that grey anyway. Voila. And just see what happens. And the other colour, while I mixed up, was to add a little bit of raw sienna within the darks, just to add a bit of colour to it, a bit of interest.
Right, now one question is, Anne keeps asking this question, how come you don't get back runs? And is the answer that your paper's always wet, it's never dry?
Well, sometimes I do, but I don't know, really. I don't know the answer to that.
It's usually when you're redamping up and it pushes into a dry area, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I tend not to...
if you haven't got a dry area, you can't push into it.
Well, I've only made the bit wet that's relevant. I'm going to leave that little white area, and I'm just dropping in some extra darks to make it look like there's some of those big bricks floating around. And when it's dry, if you do it on the side, you can just dab them in.
Yeah.
And the same with the above the bridge with those keystones. They'll start off really dark, but they'll go black, and just leave it at that. I think even that to me is dark. I think it's one of those colours. I was looking at it this morning. I thought I got a choice. I can either, and I think I might still do it probably later tomorrow or today. Take that, it's a bit too dark. That was. I've got that Indian gold colour, really bright yellow, and I thought, well, I might just give that area a coat of that. I think I'm struggling, to tell you the truth, to get what I don't know what I know what I want, but I don't know what I want. You know, I know what I want, but I don't think I'm going to achieve it because the combination of the paper ain't going to allow it. It's that sort of more, less is more freshness feel to it, instead of the oil painting look. But I'm quite happy. It looked nice when I framed it. I put the gold frame around it. That looked really, I thought, So now I'm getting second thoughts and thinking maybe I've not done the right thing here. But
I thought it looked very good in the end yesterday.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, only in the last 10 minutes. Up to then it wasn't.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it just sprang into life. And I thought, well, that's really good. Why does it turn to mud? Why do you keep putting paint on and it doesn't just turn to a pile of mud?
Well, I deliberately, I do stick to my goal, and I say, look, blue, burnt umber, and raw sienna.
Yeah.
It's what I always say, isn't it? If you can do it on any bit of paper, that's got it on there.
Yeah.
If you take, if you make, well, we all like wet on wet, but if I make it wet, one colour, burnt umber or brown, goes all right. Add another colour, blue.
Yeah.
That'll make it go grey.
Yeah.
That's all right. 2 colours, fine. 3 colours, drop it in. Yeah, we're okay. As soon as you start going into the 4th and 5th colours, then it starts going the other way.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the amount of colours, restricted palette.
It's the layers, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you think about it, how light works as well.
Yeah.
Then if you, hang on, I've got a really funny pencil here. But if you think about it, the light comes down on the paper and bounces off and reflects a colour off.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't actually reflect a colour, it absorbs. So it absorbs the colours that are part of that, so, or not a part of it. So brown is made, whatever it's made up of, red and yellow, it absorbs those colours and reflects the other buggers. So as soon as you do that, if you do it twice, yeah, it's gonna, but eventually the third layer and any more, it's gradually going to turn to mud, isn't it? Just by pure science and physics.
Yeah.
Because
True.
eventually it's going to do. I've got a funny pencil here. It's two-tone.
Oh.
Yeah, don't think, yeah, you can see it there now.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
How odd.
Yeah.
I remember them. Yeah.
So if you can sort of shade it, and it gets all different color, two colors at once. What a saves holding two pencils.
You know your analogy of the light and that.
Uh-huh.
The problem of talking to people who aren't scientific is when you say the light is reflecting, it's the fact that black is actually not seeing the light. And when it's gone through to the paper and tried bouncing back, if you see black, you're not seeing anything bouncing back.
That's right. It's it's subtractive color.
Yeah. Yes, but most people think they're seeing black light coming towards them.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah, it's the absence of light they're looking at.
Yeah, and that's the same. It is subtractive on the colours. When you add all the colours together, it takes less light. It takes more light out.
That's the way I look at it. Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Additive colour is what light is. You get 3 beams of light, red, green and blue.
Yeah.
If you add those together.
No, red, blue and yellow.
Red, green and blue.
RGB. Oh, sorry, light, yes. Coloured.
Red, green and blue.
Yeah, okay.
In the middle, you get white.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite to what we do with, because that's additive colour.
Yeah.
Artists, we use subtractive colour. So what we're doing is taking the red, green and blue away from it. Is that right? Maybe not.
Yes, yeah, you are right, yeah.
It's the opposite to what it is. So
yeah.
What we're seeing is it's subtracting, whatever. But it's the opposite.
Yeah. But the actual mid-place light is somewhere between green and yellow in the rainbow. This is the thing. Red, orange, yellow. Then the yellow and green are together in the middle. And the median light frequency, as you say, the light coming down is a green one. Green, blue, red lights give you white, pure white.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand that. But when you get paints, for some reason, they go more from the green towards the yellow colour, and a pure yellow, pure red, and pure blue on watercolour does give you a pure black. In other words, it eliminates all reflection of all lights.
Can't argue with that, Gord.
Okay, right.
Once the bridge is dried, my next little plan was to get some brick colour, which is basically burnt sienna, isn't it? Perhaps add a little bit of red Alzira and crimson perhaps to it, and do the old let's take a bit of an edge off and just draw in some bricks, a bit like that. If I do it so I can just, I don't think I won't put them all in, but if you look at where it dries, as the paint dries, you'll see like shadowy areas. You think that looks like a brick. If I enlarge it, if I do one big brick, So, which is, I'll show off. I'll do a couple bricks.
Is your rigger square-ended or pointed?
It's sort of a chisel end now.
Yeah.
It started life as a square end.
Yeah, it's worn into a nice flat end brush, hasn't it?
I think, yeah, that's right. And
And that's your favourite, is it?
Yeah, if you look.
Yeah.
It forms like a chisel one side and goes flat.
Painting that brush.
I think they all do. They all tend to go like that.
Hmm.
But if you get the bricks at burnt sienna, I mean, I'm doing it quite strong colour, but it wouldn't necessarily need to be that. And while it's still damp, you can add in a little bit of blue on one side, and equally raw sienna, just to add a bit of, just while they're damp.
Mm.
And then when you decide which way your light's coming, so saying the light was coming from the left, you can mix up some dark colour, a little bit of the shadow colour works well, and just draw a line underneath and down one side, dark, and then you'll form the one bit I didn't point out, and then they'll form the nice. I've just done it, highlighted it, just doing the brick there, but on the paper, hence the reason you've got a background. So the background that I've done on the bridge is really what I'm thinking about is the mortar between the bricks. It's that sort of colour. So then when you put the brick on, what you're picking up, they're not all in between the bricks, you'll pick up the mortar, so it'll make it stand out. But like you say, it's a labour of love doing these. Well, because you could. So don't put them all in. Hence the reason it's in. What's the word?
I don't know.
Intimation. Is that a word?
Intermittent.
No, yeah. You're intimating that.
There.
Oh yeah, and things good on words.
So when you get it, yeah, it'll look something like those.
Impressionist, perhaps.
Yeah, you're giving the impression that the bricks are there, not the fact that they are. But
you don't have to count every one, no.
You can do. People do it.
But they do, yeah.
Yeah, but it looks terrible, doesn't it?
Well, after a while, you think, because even any artist, I don't care who they are, you start off at the top of the bridge or the top of the building, and by the time you get down to the bottom of the wall, you've run out of steam. You've run out of patience. So then they'll be going like this really fast.
Yeah.
Whereas and then if you look at the top of where they started, it'll be all nice and neat and.
Yeah. But if you look at old-fashioned Dorset houses, they did put bigger bricks down the bottom than they did at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot of them.
They put stones in between to break it up.
The other classic one. The other classic thing is sort of parallax thing, isn't it? Where slate roofs are cool for that.
Yes.
The slates at the top are smaller than the slates at the bottom. Yeah,
that's because the roof would collapse if they did the same ones all the way up. They put the heavy ones nearer the walls.
Yeah.
Got me?
Yeah.
Walls will support it, but if you put them right at the top, you come straight through the wood.
Yeah. So when you're painting, if you're putting slates on,
Yeah.
it's something to be conscious of.
Yeah.
But I sometimes, who do what's his name? Terry Harrison. He did a few videos on painting Yorkshire dry walls and things like walls and roofs and that. And he pointed it out, you know. But he paints too many. He's guilty of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is a bit busy.
And it looks a bit chocolate boxy and naff.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and I don't think I'm wrong on that. I'm not wrong on a lot of things. But I've got to show off something a minute. Hang on. I'm going to take this out of the way. I know I don't spend a lot of money, but I did spend a couple of quid.
You spending money again?
Yeah. I wanted to tidy up my little work area here. So, and I've been looking at... Oh, I've lost my little sponge now, you little bugger. And it's coming in slowly but surely.
Oh, it's a hostess trolley.
Yeah.
It's got, one side's got a load of, hang on, I can zoom out, can't I?
Yeah. What do they call them? Something Susan, don't they? What do they? Lazy Susan.
No, it's a makeup thingy.
Yeah.
It's for your makeup, yeah. I can't really turn it on its side. A little bit.
Oh, right.
Go on
So
your side.
you've been in the ladies' makeup section, have you?
Look at that. Underneath, it's got all these little things and it rotates around.
Yes, Dave.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. You can tidy up your desk now.
Yeah, well, I have.
On the internet, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm tempted to get another one. This is for the clutter of all the rubbers, wire wool, there's a few bits and stuff. But I was looking at it the other day and I was thinking, half a mo. And look how mobile it is. Look, we're straight over there. But the other thing I've got is a tray. It's all do of art, isn't it? With all the colours that I've bought over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few. And I was thinking, do you know what? I could put all that in one of those, in the revolving thing, and it just whiz round and round. Yeah.
You've got to be able to see the colours, though, because the tops are all white.
Well, they're all in sections. So I've got burnt sienna browns, raw sienna. No, these are oddments. These are flesh and odd colours.
You could stick little patches on the top of the tops with the colour on, so you know what colour to pick out.
Yeah. They're more or less, there's blues, reds, yellows.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is. Oh, shadow tones in there.
You have to look at the label all the time, don't you?
That is so bugbearing me. Drives me mad, especially on the St. Petersburg paints. I absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a bit strong, but I quite like them. But like you say, the flipping labels are in Russian. So you have to spin it round the other side, and you might spot the English, you know.
I was going to say, don't they make them wear them?
Well, if they do, yeah, that's what I said, wasn't it? But
you said they all came from Wareham.
Yeah, look, it's
in Russian.
It's in bloody Russian, mate. you turn it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even bloody read that. Cobalt blue, yeah. But a lot of it is in Russian. Obviously, it's a trade. But actually, my new goal is, as those run out, I'm going to replace with Holbein paints. Since I bought that a tube of Horizon Blue, I was really taken aback by that. So they're really expensive paints, but I'm kind of thinking, wow, that was really special paint. It had a really beautiful feel to it.
Yeah.
Remember this? This is the bit of paper.
Oh yeah,
Indian gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
the
lost
bit not there to part with.
I tore it off. It was on the side, and I tore it off and kept the piece of paper. So
Yeah.
this is a special bit of paint because at some point it's going all over this bridge to warm it up, and it might go in some of these other pieces
Get the
as
bridge
well.
right first.